We will now introduce long vowel families with two vowels together. There is nothing new to learn because these families can be sounded out. All that you must explain to your class is that when you have two vowels together, the first one is long and the second one is silent. We will develop this skill with the exercises at the end of this chapter. Let's try one of those exercises. Give each student a copy of the exercise and proceed as follows. Let's read the rhyme together, everybody. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. Now, do you see two vowels together here?
Yes.
Who's first?
A.
So it says A, and the second one is silent. Now, if this says A, this would say ain. Add an R, what's the word?
Rain.
Add an M, what's the word?
Main.
Add TR, what's the word?
Train.
Now, would you read that back from the top?
A. Rain.
Good.
Main. Train.
Who's first?
E.
So it says E, and this family is
Eat.
add an M, what's the word?
Meat.
Add an F, what's the word?
Feet.
Add SW, what's the word?
Sweet.
Please read that back from the top.
E. Meat. Feet. Sweet.
Do you see two vowels together? Who's first?
O.
So it says O. So this family is
Oat.
add a B, what's the word?
Boat.
Add a C, what's the word?
Coat.
Add a G, what's the word?
Goat.
Please read that from the top.
O. Boat. Coat. Goat.
Very good. Now, we're going to review just the headings of these exercises so that you will have a perspective on what is covered here. If you will read along with Noreen, this will give you a very good review of these families. All together, let's go.
E. Eed.
Very good.
I. O.
Please turn the page.
U. A. Ale. E. Een.
Good.
E. Eep. U. Ute. I.
Please turn the page.
O. Ode. U. E. Eat. A. Aid. A. Ale. A. Ain. A. Air. A. Ate.
Turn the page.
E. Eed. E. Eek. E. Eel. E. Eam. E. Een. E. Eep. E. Eat.
Very good. Please turn the page.
E. Eed. E. Eek. E. Eel. E. Eat. E. Eam. E. Eam.
Now wait for me.
E. Eep. E. Ear.
Please turn the page. Very good.
O. Ode. O. Oat. O. Oak. O. Oast.
Good.
O. Ol. O. Ohm. O. Own. O. Oak.
Please turn the page.
I. O. U. U. Ute.
Right. Now, as you can see, these exercises cover hundreds and hundreds of words, especially because each time you do the exercise, form different words. You do not have to complete all of these exercises before utilizing these families to introduce words, because they can be sounded out as they are encountered within words. Therefore, when you feel that your students can sound out these families with ease, then introduce any words that contain these families as follows. Now, you must tell the students what letters to underline before asking, what's the family, what's the word? Underline A-I-N. What's the family?
Ain.
What's the word?
Rain.
Underline E-E-P. What's the family?
Eep.
What's the word?
Sheep.
Underline E-A-R. What's the family?
Ear.
What's the word?
Here.
Underline O-E. What's the family?
O.
What's the word?
Toe.
Underline U-I-T. What's the family?
Oot.
What's the word?
Fruit.
Underline O-A-L. What's the family?
Ol.
What's the word?
Goal.
Underline I-E. What's the family?
I.
What's the word?
High.
Underline A-I-N-T. What's the family?
Ain't.
What's the word?
Paint.
Underline U-E-L. What's the family?
Fuel.
What's the word?
Fuel.
Underline O-A-S-T. What's the family?
Oast.
What's the word?
Toast.
When you have a two-syllable word, treat each syllable as you would a separate word. Underline A-I-N. What's the family?
Ain.
Add M.
Main.
Underline A-I-N. What's the family?
Ain.
Add T.
Tain.
What's the word?
Maintain.
Underline O-N. What's the family?
Con.
Now, what's the family?
Oh, on.
Add C.
Con.
Underline IN.
In.
Now, wait until I ask you, what's the family?
In.
Add T.
Tin.
Go back.
Contin.
Underline UE. What's the family?
You.
What's the word?
Continue.
Very good. Underline IN. What's the family?
In.
Underline EASE. What's the
Ease.
family? What's the family?
Ease.
Now, ease.
Ease.
Add CR.
Crease.
What's the word?
Increase.
Very good. Underline OA. Uh-oh, I spelled the word wrong. Underline OARD. What's the family?
Ord.
Add B.
Board.
Right. Underline ALK. What's that site family?
Alk.
Now, remember the site family is awk. You have to admit it's awk, as in talk, walk, chalk, right? So that's awk. Add W.
Walk.
What's the word?
Board. Walk.
Very good. Now, these are keep going words. Underline EA. What's the family?
E.
Keep going. What's the word?
Eagle.
Underline EO. What's the family?
E-O. E.
Add P.
P.
Keep going.
O. Pull.
Now,
Yeah,
let's
P.
try.
Pull.
All right, let's try that again now, okay? What's the family?
E.
Add P.
P.
Keep going. What's the word?
P. Pull.
Very good. Okay? You're going to continue to introduce these words until you get halfway through the 1-1 reader. Halfway through. You're going to introduce words in two ways only. You're going to introduce the words either with what's the clue or what's the family. For example, give me a loaf of.
Bread.
What's the clue is bread. Now, when do you say what's the family? If it's a word that has a site family that has been introduced, if it has a short vowel family, if it has a long vowel family with E on the end, or if it has a long vowel family with two vowels together. Underline EIGH. What's the family?
E-A.
What's the word?
Sleigh.
Underline ICK. What's the family?
Ick.
What's the word?
Trick.
Underline ILE. What's the family?
Isle.
What's the word?
While.
Underline OAP. What's the family?
Oak.
What's the word?
Soap.
Introduce all other words with what's the clue. At this point, are your students able to read any phonic reading program that begins with long vowels? For example, would they be able to read something like, Pete Fleet, take a seat. Lee can't see the sea. Can the sea see Lee? Could they read a book like that?
Yes.
Therefore, you'll get 3 birds with 1 stone. This brings us to reinforcement once again, and there are several suggestions for reinforcement. Super Sweet Work Phonic Grab Bag has a few puzzles for 2 vowels together, picture puzzles, which are fun to do. And it also has 2 word wheels. One is called Charlie Chat, and the other one is called Rumble Grumble. And you'll find that these exercises really help to strengthen these families.
It's time again to have a practice list for you teachers in the video audience to check your technique. Each teacher will introduce a word in turn while the other teachers respond as your class. If you wish to test your technique before the words are introduced on tape, stop the tape now. If you wish to listen to the tape first, then stop the tape and check your technique. We will now introduce the words.
Underline ICK. What's the family?
Ick.
What's the word?
Stick.
Underline OAP. What's the family?
Ope.
What's the word?
Soap.
Now, when you have a word like this, remember, first introduce the root words first. So first you would introduce cow, then you would introduce boy. Underline OW. What's the family?
Ow.
Add C.
Cow.
I'm sorry, what's the family? What's the word?
Cow.
Underline OY. What's the family?
Oi.
What's the word?
Boy.
Now, when you put 2 words together, it's called a compound word, and this word is,
Cow. Boy.
please give me a loaf of,
Bread.
what's the clue?
Ver. E. D.
Very good. Underline EEP. What's the family?
Eep.
What's the word?
Sheep.
Underline ART. What's the family?
Art.
What's the word?
Start.
Underline UEL. What's the family?
Ool.
Now remember U.
Yule.
What's the word?
Fuel.
Underline ILE. What's the family?
Isle.
What's the word?
While.
This word is where, as in, where are you going? What's the clue? Good. Now, when you have a word like this, remember, always introduce the root word first. So you would introduce the word drive. Underline IVE. What's the family?
I've.
And what's the word?
Drive.
Now, if you drop E and add ing, the word is?
Driving.
Very good. Underline AIN. What's the family?
Ain.
Add M.
Main.
Underline AIN. What's the family?
Ain.
Add T.
Tain.
What's the word?
Maintain.
Underline EO. What's the family?
E.
Add P.
P.
What's the word?
P.
I'm sorry, keep going.
People.
Very good. Underline AST. What's the family?
Ass.
What's the word?
Fast.
Underline OAD. We have now completed all of the reliable phonic information. Let's consider for a moment the path that we have taken thus far. Up to this point, we have never required a student to decode a word independently. We have never pointed to a word and said, "What's that word?" Rather, we have taken the student by the hand and guided him safely around every possible pitfall. We have either given an oral sentence that ends with the word and then asked, "What's the clue?" after he already said the word, or we have told him what letter to underline before asking, "What's the family?" knowing that he would be certain to know the family because the family was introduced beforehand. Therefore, we have made it impossible for the student to fail. Meanwhile, teaching has been very easy for the teacher because she has two clear-cut choices to introduce words. What's the clue or what's the family? However, we can't follow the students around indefinitely and guide them through each new word with what's the clue and what's the family. It's time now to answer the question, how are we going to release the children from dependence on the teacher and free them to go off on their own to read independently? Build up a little suspense and tell your students that you will soon tell them the secret of independent reading.